Highway.
Y'all know what this is.
You know how we do it, baby. It's Saturday Night Antics, bro. Cap mode time in full effect. We're in it to win it, baby. All right. Although we're not in the tournament. What a great slate of games today, bro. All right. Playoffs. Crazy games, man. Denver took care of the Bills. The window's closed on Josh Allen. Him, Lamar Jackson, older quarterbacks. The window's closed on these guys. All right. Bo Nix gotta feel bad for my boy Bo Nix. The fucking ankle all broken and shit. Feel bad for him, bro. Feel bad for him, man. 49ers, that team looked familiar there. That kind of looked like us, choking it the fuck up. Bad quarterback play, shitty fucking team. They got their ass whooped, bro. I love it, man. I love when the 49ers get their ass freaking beat up, man. They took it on the chin. McDermott, Shanahan, they will be in next year's coaching cycle. You know what I mean? I think they've hit that wall. I think their fans as well are kind of tired of the bull crap as well. So they'll probably, I could see them being available next season. But man, well, what a great day of football, man! Just some crazy games happening. I think tomorrow's going to be a good one. But one thing that does get affected here, and we'll get to our mock drafts here in a minute, But shout out to everybody in the chat box, man. Appreciate you guys for joining. Shout out to everybody indeed, man. All the billions watching across the world. All right. But so the Broncos advance. What does that mean for Jim Leonard? All right. So unfortunately, they're going to have to wait a little bit longer for Jim Leonard if they want to bring him on in person. All right. If they would have been eliminated, they probably would have done an in-person interview with Jim Leonard. Now they got to wait to see if the Broncos get eliminated in the championship game, which it's going to be a miracle. I think, to me, the winner of the Patriots-Texans game, that's your de facto AFC championship. I think the winner of that gets into the Super Bowl. I just don't see how they're going to win with Jarrett Stidham, who hasn't played a snap in like 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? I think you're better off calling Drew Brees or somebody like this, dude. Like, I feel bad for the Broncos, dude, but whatever. I mean, that's their deal. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, But the Cowboys are bringing in some head coaches for in-person interviews. Durante Jones from the Vikings, in-person interview. Jonathan Gannon, in-person interview this coming week, and Christian Parker, who's really gaining a lot of momentum. And for me, I think if it's not Jim Leonard, I'm on board with Christian Parker. I think this is the guy that the Cowboys would like to have in here. They need somebody to revitalize that secondary. So a lot of these guys that they're looking at are secondary specialists. So we'll see what they do there. And Christian Parker has Super Bowl experience as well, so knows how to prepare the secondary. I think he'll bring in a good staff of his own, D-line, linebacker coaches, everything that we need, because what we have in place right now ain't cutting it, man. I don't want to see our linebacker coach back. I don't want to see Aaron Cotton back. I mean, Aaron White Cotton. I don't want to see him back either, dude. Move on from this dude. But Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go. I don't expect an announcement unless maybe in their mind Jim Leonard isn't in the running. You know what I mean? How we don't know how the virtual interview went. You know what I mean? We really don't know. But if they don't make an announcement here this week, as far as like we're hiring this dude, then they probably are waiting on Jim Leonard. So that's going to be the thing to watch this coming week. You know what I mean? In the in-person interviews can happen now. So we'll see what happens on that front. I'm very interested to see what the Cowboys do. You got to make the right move here because John Harbaugh has joined the fray here in the NFC East. It's going to come down to the Cowboys and the Giants next season. I expect the Eagles to completely implode, but they will rebuild themselves, and they'll probably be in contention in about 2 or 3 years again. You know, Howie Roseman knows how to deconstruct and reconstruct that team and get back in contention. But I do see them kind of falling off next year. The Washington Commanders, they don't have a quarterback. OJ and Daniels always hurt now, injury prone. RG Need Part 2, so they're done. All their assistants have been revamped there, so I'm not worried about Washington. It's going to come down to the Cowboys and the Giants next season. I think that's where it's at. So Cowboys, they got to nail this defensive coordinator position. But let me know what you guys think, man. Who do you like right now? Do you like these three that they're bringing in here? If you had to choose between Parker, Durante Jones, or Jonathan Gannon, who do you like in your mind? Who would you like? Let me know in the comments if you're watching live or watching on the replay. Let me know in the chat box. I really would be interested to see the pulse of the Cowboys nation. White Cotton stays? I sure the fuck hope not, dude. The guy didn't elevate shit. He sucks fucking balls, dude. That guy can eat shit, dude. He sucks, dude. He ain't about shit. All right. What else we got in the comments, bros? Let's see what else we got here, man. Parker will be the DC monger down. I have the intel. Well, that's badass, bro. I love intel like this, dude. And I don't mind it, dude. Like if it's not Jim Leonard, I'm down with Christian Parker. I am. I think that he will be a good fit here. Secondary, they got to get something out of these guys. You know what I mean? Then we'll go to the Super Bowl on College College. I really don't think that they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a huge. I mean, they got to get past either the Texans or the Patriots. Jared Stidham, I just don't. I think they'll rattle the crap out of him. I mean, you never know, right? I mean, he could be the next Jeff Hostetler. He could be the next Brad Johnson. Maybe you just need a bus driver with a badass defense. And that defense is pretty damn legit. I look at the defense here that I saw today. Broncos defense, badass. The Seahawks, pretty damn good. Pretty good, you know. So I like that, man. If we can get Leonard, I think we'd be good. And I like Parker as well, man. Yeah, I do agree with this, Aaron. I agree that some of the guys that they've been looking at could come back here as assistants. I totally agree with you. Some of these guys that they've been looking at virtually, like Ephraim Banda, you know, a virtual interview with him. I think he would be a good addition to the secondary. You know what I mean? And then you look at some. Maybe DeMarcus Covington, if you could somehow grab him as your D-line coordinator. But we'll see what our defensive coordinator wants. Hopefully he can assemble his own team here and have us rocking and rolling, baby. Super chat. Your boy Mike, what's up, bro? Good to see you in the chat box. If we get Jonathan Gannon, there's absolutely zero hope for 2026. Hiring Gannon would be worse than White Cotton. Give me Leonard or Christian Parker. Yeah, I would say of the three dudes that they're going to bring in this week, right? Jonathan Gannon is probably like my number 3 dude. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't move the needle for me. You know what's another funny one here that I thought about? Everybody's riding the balls of Kevin Stefanski. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. All the media dudes and some of these other guys, they're following along. Kevin Stefanski sucks, bro. He ain't about shit. Sub 500 coach, but everybody's on his nuts. Oh, and this Jeff Ulbrich fucking dude, right? Like, oh, well, we're taking him off the table. I didn't want that dude, man. Jeff Ulbrich to me, older dude. I think the Cowboys are doing the right thing, going younger. You know what I mean? This is where we're at right now in football. You got to have young coaches that can relate to these young players. This isn't the 90s or 2000s anymore, man. We're in 2026. All right. Time to get with the times. And that means getting younger all across the board here. So I don't get the whole hype, dude. Kevin Stefanski, that division, you got Canales in there with the Panthers. They're going up. Kellen Moore finished the season pretty strong. They're going to be good. Kevin Stefanski, oh, he's got all these weapons. Bijan Robinson. Fuck that dude, man. He ain't any good, man. But anyway. Yeah, bro, I'm with you, man. Give me Leonard, give me Parker. That's where I'm at too, dude. I agree with you 100%, man. Let's see what else we got here going on here, bros. Yeah, he sure did, bro. Fractured his ankle on the second to last play. Pretty insane. It's crazy how we had the chance to get Ben Johnson or Mike McDonald, and they both might make the NFC Championship this year. We suck. Shotty sucks. Yeah, they sure did, man. But you know, they wanted to go in house. They wanted to keep that little security blanket in place because these guys have no balls, man. Cowboys front office, you really got to hold your breath, bro. You know what I mean? Because they could, if anybody's going to find a way to fuck up this defensive coordinator search, it's our front office. And just being 100% honest, there's some names here that we like, but these guys are very capable of going left field and bringing in somebody that weren't. I mean, like Jonathan Gannon, right? I don't know how the rest of you guys feel, but he's the least attractive candidate for me. Him and that Jeff Ulbrich dude, but thank God he's not available. So let's see what we got here. Coach here twice. Yeah, he was that, but didn't do shit. Bro. Who cares about that kind of thing, man? Jason Garrett was coach of the year 1 year. I don't want about shit, bro. I don't buy the hype, man. A lot of people are licking that ass, licking those balls as if they're crowning Atlanta. Fuck that, dude. And that ain't gonna be about shit. They don't have a quarterback. Penix, he sucks, dude. Cousins, he's washed up. So I don't know what they're gonna do, you know. But who cares about them anyway, right? Yes. Yeah, I agree with you there. We need someone who can relate to these players, and Parker is it. Yeah, I definitely feel that. Yeah, I do. I think that's the low key one, and I think it's the guy that can probably stick around more than a year. You know what I mean? Like, I feel if you get Leonard in here, that he might be a one and done. Where maybe we make a run to the playoffs, and he gets an opportunity as a head coach somewhere, right? So Christian Parker, I mean, he might too, but whoever gets this position, it opens the doors for these guys. I mean, look at Dan Quinn, right? And however you see Dan Quinn being the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, it opened the door for him to get back into the hiring cycle. You know what I'm saying? So whoever takes that position would be in good shape if they want to advance their career. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So let's see what we got here. Today, like I said, it's going to be mock draft insanity. Saturday Night Antics, as we say here at the channel. So we're going to do a couple of scenarios here. There, okay? And let me go ahead and pull up the simulator. Let me pull this up here right now, guys. But while I pull this up, go ahead and pound that like button or subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be doing this all off season. So we're going to look at, I think it's Draft Network is the one that I like. Draft Network, Mock Draft Simulator. Let me see. Pro Football Network, I think is the one. Yeah, here we go. All right, here we go. Let me share this window. And without further ado, let's get into these mock drafts, man. Let's get into these mock drafts. Let me go ahead and share this window here real quick. We'll get this going. It's party time, baby. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see what this looks like here. All right. Cowboys. Let's do 7 rounds here. And for the first mock draft we're going to stay and pick. Okay. We're going to do what the Cowboys have done here. For the most part, a lot of years they've kind of stayed, right? So let's just say that the Cowboys, they make their usual moves in the free agency, and they're just gonna stick and pick, right? So let's go with this Will McBust mentality, Will McClay, and hold on, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on this. See if we can make this a little bit bigger. Okay. There we go. So let's get this going, guys. First mock draft, we're gonna stick and pick. Okay. This is the Will McClay draft. Here we go. Cowboys. Let's go. All right, baby. Fernando Mendoza went to the Raiders. Caleb Downs off the board. David Bailey, Mansour Delane, he's off. So we're gonna reject these trades. We're gonna stick and pick. Okay. I wanted a cornerback. All right. I kind of wanted Mansour Delane here. He didn't make it. I kind of also wanted Caleb Downs. I like him. Kendrick Falk, guys, that's awfully high for him. I don't see that happening, but you never know, man. Ruben Bain, I like him. Jeremiah Love, he's gonna go early too. Bailey. Let's see what corners are left on the board here. I do not want, I'll tell you this right now, I don't want injury-prone motherfuckers, bro. So you talk about let me see here. I'm talking about cornerback, right? And we're talking about like this guy right here, Jermod McCoy, right? Jermod McCoy, he's gonna have a lot of rust. He's a Dan Cooper special, so he's got that in his back pocket. I don't want him, dude. Arian Throw, I think you can get it a little bit later. Colton Hood, Brandon Cisse, I like him. So I think that kind of throws a wrench in the process here. Let's look at edge. TJ Parker, Overton, Cassius Howell. I feel like these guys, I can go a little bit. I think some of these guys, Zion Young, I like him. Sutton, I like him as well, but I think you can get him with that second one. Let's look at linebacker. Yeah, here we go. The draft pick here for me is going to be Sonny Styles. We're going to go with him at 12 here in this mock draft. We're sticking and picking, like I said, in this scenario. All right, we're back on the clock. 20. So we got our linebacker, Sonny Styles. Let me look at DT. Peter Woods, McDonald, Caleb Banks. These are Peter Woods. If you look at the year before, that's better tape than this season. Do you roll the dice on that one there? And I don't think they're going to take another defensive tackle in the first round. I think they got a snake bitten there. They're not going to do that again, unfortunately. So let's now look at cornerback in this scenario. Colton Hood, Keith Abney, Brandon C. So this is what we got here and safety. I like Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. He was one of the guys I mentioned early on in the draft process out of Oregon. I really like that one there. Zakee Wheatley as well out of Penn State, but seems very rich there. So I'm not going to force a pick. Let's look at edge. TJ Parker. Okay. Edge. 20, right? TJ Parker. The same thing as Woods, right? TJ Parker and Woods 2024 was a lot better than 2025. So, you know, which player are you going to get? They have the measurables. Cassius Howell. Would they take him? Zion Young. Gosh. I think I like Zion Young more than some of these dudes here. Let's see what we got here then in this here. What do we got here? Let's see what we got here, bro. Okay, so we got our linebacker. We need an edge rusher. Okay. And Cowboys, I don't know if they're gonna be on board with the Cassius Howell measurables because unfortunately, Cowboys they're very strict with the measurables. You know what I mean? But maybe they look at a different angle here. We'll just go Cassius Howell here for this sake of this mock draft here, and we'll see how the rest of this. Ty Simpson went to the Browns. That's pretty funny. CJ Allen. Okay, round 2. Cowboys don't have a second or third round pick, so let the bleeding begin. We'll see if the Cowboys find a way to acquire picks, whether they trade back in or trade back down. In the next draft scenario, we are going to trade down. So in this mock draft, we're sticking and picking. All right, we're sticking and picking. So let's see how the rest of this stick and pick draft looks for us. All right. Still see some pretty good names on the board here. But second and third round, we're going to bleed out a lot of these picks. A lot of talent bleeding out. There went Zion Young. Let's see if Sutton makes it. I don't think he's going to. Anthony Lucas. Okay, he's gone. Yeah, it's a long way from that first round to our next pick, which should be here in the fourth round. We should get a comp pick for J. Lou and DeMarcus Lawrence. So we should get at least a fourth or a fifth somewhere along the way. I think we're gonna get a fourth for Lawrence if I had a guess, and probably a fifth for Lewis. So here we are, round 4. So we got our first 2 picks, linebacker and the edge rusher. We're back here in the 4th round. How do you feel about running backs? Singleton still available. Penn State, pretty good running back here. See what else we got here left on the running backs. He got a little bit wiped out. There's a couple of guys here, but that's what's going to happen here, man. I think you got to sign. You have to extend Javonte Williams. I think that's going to be top of their list. He wants to stay here with Dallas. Dallas is showing mutual interest. So I think if you have him, maybe Jadon Blue turns it around. You still got Phil Maffa. Probably running back is not going to be high on their list. And thankfully so, because we got pretty fucking wiped out here. Outside of Singleton here, um, I mean, you could probably get some of guys a little bit later, but nothing super impressive. Another need. Let's go back and look at safety. Zakee Wheatley is going to be the pick here for the Cowboys. We're going to take him right here. He's available. We're going to bolster that secondary, man. I didn't even have to guess on that. That was an easy pick there. Let's see what else we got coming up here, guys. Sticking and picking in this scenario. The next one we're going to do a trade down. So let's see how the rest of this mock draft falls. All right. Appreciate everybody watching live in the chat box. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Saturday Night Antics in full effect. We're going to reject this pick here. Here we are in the 5th round. All right. Let's give. We'll probably need to look at some offensive players here. Let's look at tight end. They might be in business there for tight end. Get ready for that. Cowboys. Schoonmaker. He's been a disaster. Ferguson. What is he? Inconsistent. Kind of getting injured here and there. He hit his peak. Brevin Spanford. I think you've seen what you get out of him. So don't be surprised if the Cowboys throw a late round dart at a tight end. Just get ready for it. All right. The quarterback, anybody in here that we want to throw in the mix to compete with Joe Milton, he ain't any good. So Cade Klubnik, Clemson, maybe somebody you want to throw a dart there. 5th round. Drew Aller's got the big arm, but yeah. You got Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt. He did declare here recently, so he is entering the NFL draft. How do you guys feel about him? Is he a Manziel 2.0? Do you like the moxie that he has? What's your thoughts on Diego Pavia, quarterback, Vanderbilt? Would you use a 5th on him? I think that's a name to consider. Diego Pavia, Drew Aller would be like a Drew Aller to me would be a Jerry Jones pick, because back in the day, Jerry Jones liked to draft. He loved to draft the big arm quarterbacks, and I think that's why we got Joe Milton in here. You know what I mean? So is he back to his old ways? I hope not, man. Give me somebody with a little bit of more accuracy, with the mediary passing game. That's where you make your living in the median passing game. You know what I mean? Not so much down the field. I mean, it's a good thing to have down the field, but you really got to attack the middle of the defense, the median range, right? So Baylor, nah, that dude's no good. Klubnik, Aller would be a Jerry Jones pick there. Pavia, do you roll the dice on him? Is he going to be a headache? Is he going to be a Manziel 2.0? Or do you wait? Do you wait another season to throw another quarterback into the mix? Luke Altemeyer is another one out of Illinois, but I think you can get these guys a little bit later even. So running back, you're not getting a starting running back out of here. You're looking at more like your rotational dudes. We already have them, so they're probably not going to do that. How do you feel about your tackles? Riley Malman, J.C. Davis, Markel Bell out of the U. He's available here. All right. Wide receiver. I think you may want to throw a dart here at somebody here and see what you can get out of it, man. What are you guys feeling here in the 5th round? Let's see what we got here. How's everybody doing in the chat box? As long as we have Will McClay here, I don't trust him with the picks. I totally agree, man. I totally agree with that. Yeah, dude. So that's where we're at there. 5th round, we're gonna look at wide receiver, Cowboys. I could see them going again here and drafting another Oklahoma guy. We're gonna go Deion Burks here, throw him into the mix. All right. Romello Height. Man, they got him going all the way to the 5th round here. That's wild. And he could, man. You know what I mean? I think his Romello Heights draft range is crazy. I mean, it could be somebody who might fall in love with him at the end of the 1st, but it's the age that's going to really take him a lot off the boards. He's going to be like, I think 24, 25 years old when the draft rolls around. So tight end here. I think this is where the Cowboys are going to look at a tight end. We need somebody that they can come in here and knock somebody's head off. Let's look at defense. Let's double dip here. Let's look at defense. See what we can get rocking and rolling here. I think you got to add more linebackers, and you need somebody for special teams. See, we got any other edge rushers here of note? Kamara, Patrick Payton, Trey Moore. So we got a couple of dudes here, but we're talking 5th round type of dudes. Do another defensive tackle in here, DeMonte Capehart out of Clemson. I like this guy here, and I gotta give a shout out to Danny Savage. He really put me onto DeMonte Capehart as being, outplayed Woods, and I think here in the 5th round, I'm going to go Capehart and use him here in the 5th. You might be able to get him a little bit later. I mean, somebody might even like him earlier, but I'm gonna bolster that defensive tackle position. Gonna go Capehart there. There went Klubnik. Okay. 6th round. Amon Moten. See what else we got going on here. Lions, 6th round. So here we go. 6th round pick at the end of the 6th round. Cowboys on the clock here. Let's look at cornerback. Let's see if we can come out of this with a nickel. I think you need another one here. Let's look at linebacker as well. Kendall Daniels, Alex Safari Jr., Kentucky. Desmond Purnell, he's still available here. Oregon, Bryce. Owen Heineke. Justin Jefferson. Drew Watts. Jalen Sneed. Okay. Let's look at edge. Wesley Williams. Patrick Payton. Patrick Payton. I want to say there was something with this guy. I might be thinking of another guy. George Gums. I would like to add another pass rusher into the mix. And we're gonna look at Mikal Kamara there with the edge rush. doing pretty good things there with Indiana. You'll get a look at him here in the national championship game. So keep an eye on him when you're watching the game on Monday, and let me know what you think of him. But I think he could be in the mix here. Throw him in the mix, edge rusher. I think he's got the measurables that the Cowboys like. And here we are in the 7th round. Okay, throw a dart at somewhere. This is where you're throwing darts. Okay, C.J. Daniels. This dude's still available. I don't know if that's realistic. I like what this dude did, man. C.J. Daniels. Let's see. I wonder what he's gonna run. I'm throwing a dart here at a wide receiver, special teamer kind of dude. Play in the slot, play on the outside. C.J. Daniels out of the U, 7th round. Can't beat it. That's good value there. You know what I mean? So he'll be the pick there for us, and you're gonna get a look at him in the national championship game. So keep an eye on that guy there. All right. As the rest of these picks go down. Let's see what we got. All right. Markel Bell. Okay. We're looking at the 7th round here. Let's see what this thing finishes as. How's everybody doing tonight? We're here. Saturday Night Antics, baby. So this was our first scenario, stick and pick, right? So we went Sonny Styles, linebacker, right? Cassius Howell gives you an edge rushing element. It's a Key Wheatley. I like him, man. I think he's a good safety. You can put him in the mix, and that was in the 4th round there. Okay, Deion Burks, wide receiver. Demonte Capehart in the 5th. Mikal Kamara, and then C.J. Daniels. All right, you let these wide receivers kind of try to make the team. You also got Trayshawn Holden in the mix, but I think you've already seen enough out of. I mean, Jalen Tolbert's not coming back, right? He'll be gone. And then you got Mingo. He ain't shit. Mingo totally absent, zero factor, even coming back. He's nothing. I don't know if it's even worth keeping him in. I mean, they probably will bring him to camp, but bring me some undrafted free agents. Bring me some other receivers in here. I like Deion Burks, C.J. Daniels. See what they can do. And like I said, out of Indiana, Mikal Kamara. Watch him. Yeah, in the championship game as well as CJ Daniels, as far as like these late round kind of guys that can give you something in the draft. Okay. So that was stick and pick. All right. We'll see what we have there. All right. This next one we're going to go through, we're going to run another scenario. We're going to trade down in this next scenario. So let's restart the simulator. Cowboys. And maybe we'll just go to let's just go to 5 rounds. I don't think we need to go all the way to 7. Let's shorten this thing up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to be in business to trading down. So let's go ahead and enter in this scenario. We are trading down. We're going to trade down one of the first round picks, guys in the chat box. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. Ruben Bain, Arvell Reese, obviously going early. Carnell Tate, Peter. I don't think Peter Woods will go that high. So I mean, we're in a badass scenario here. Okay, so I'm not gonna trade down this pick here because I see somebody available here that I'm going to take. So we're gonna reject these ones. All right, and I'm going to take Caleb Downs here. But let me just take a look and see who else might be available. Okay. And there's Mansour Delane as well. So those are 2 guys that I would like. Jermon McCoy, forget about it. I don't want to fuck with no injury guys, people that have been sitting and shit. Fuck that. All right. I'm done with that bullshit, bro. Oh, Jerron McCoy. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I don't want to hear it, man. I don't, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. So I'm gonna go Caleb Downs here. This is just a scenario here. If he's available there, we need a safety. All right, he's an upgrade over what we have right now. There's no doubt about that, and you have to get better there. So Caleb Downs being available here, I'm gonna go here with Caleb Downs in this scenario. Now that number 20 pick, let's see if we can get a trade offer here. We will trade down. Okay, here we go. We got some offers here. So we got the Packers. They want to give us the 34th pick and the 65th pick. So we would basically be trading out of the first round. Okay. And you're going to be drafting pretty much at the top of the second round. I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Okay. So let's go ahead and just for the sake of trading down and acquiring 2 more picks, let's do this one here. Okay. So let's go ahead and accept this one. We're going to take the Cardinals 34th and their 65th pick. I think in reality, you're probably going to get a future pick as well. So in that scenario, you're trading out of the first. You're probably going to get, you know, next year's. You could probably get next year's first, maybe, and out of it, or next year's second. So let's reject these. So we're on the clock here now. We're back. We're in the second round. Okay, we've already got our safety. We got Caleb Downs. I want to come out of this with a linebacker. Okay. Or let's take a look at edge. Mizador. Linebacker. Jacob Rodriguez. I think I got to go CJ Allen here. Guys, do you think CJ Allen is going to fall to the second round? Let me know what you think about that. Cornerback. Yeah, I ain't really feeling these here. Edge. I think we're going to go CJ Allen here with that other pick here. In the second round, immense value still there. We're going to go CJ Allen here. Now, in the trade, we acquired the 65th pick. That should be a third rounder, I believe. So let's see what we got going on here. Who's going to be available at 65? I think that's a third rounder. Let me see. 64. Yep. So we're at the top of the third round. Okay. So let's make our third round pick here. Let's see what talent is available. We got our safety. We got our linebacker. Let's take a look at, and just out of curiosity, let's take a look at offense. Let's take a look at wide receiver. Chris Brazel, Tennessee. Okay. Nothing really impressive here. I don't really liking none of this here. Tight ends. Max Clare. Kind of interesting. Max Clare. This guy's available. I like him. I like Max Clare out of Ohio State. He's a guy that I liked. But I don't think I'm going to go there and see what quarterbacks are available. Okay, so interesting name here to keep an eye on. Garrett Nussmeier, right? Would anybody be down with drafting somebody like a Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback in the third round? Any interest there from anybody in the chat? Garrett Nussmeier in the third. Let me know what you think about that. Garrett Nussmeier. Let's see what we got here in the chat box. Okay. Let's take a look at another position here, right? So let's take a look at, we looked at that. Let's take a look at tackles. Drew Shelton. He could be someone the Cowboys look at. Tackle. Let's take a look at the guards. Brian Parker, Rutledge. Got a couple of guards here. What do you guys? Let me ask you guys in the chat. Do you guys think that Tyler Guyton is going to remain at left tackle, or do you think that they're going to shuffle this thing up a little bit? You know what I mean? Do you think that the Guyton is going? Okay. Do you think Terrence Steele is going to get released, and then they're going to move Guyton to right tackle? All right. If that's the case, do you draft the left tackle? Do you move Tyler Smith to left tackle? And do you then have a need there at left guard? All right. So that I think that's going to be kind of a something that's going to be of discussion during the draft. Although we did hear that Schottenheimer supposedly told Tyler Smith that he's going to be the guard. So let's just go with that, right? Let's just say that they're going to keep him at guard. Is there a tackle here that could be a plug and play here for us in the third round? So we're looking at hold on, let me see. Brian Parker out of Duke, 6'5", 300-pounder, mid-round prospect. I've seen a little bit of this, but just like they're saying here, I don't think. Yeah, I agree. He's not like a Graham Barton, but Graham Barton, I think he did go a little bit higher. I mean, he could be a guy that you could probably get a little bit later. I mean, these guys aren't too impressive to me. Let's look at defensive tackle here. Let's look at defensive tackle. Daryl Jackson Jr. All right. I think if we're and then we got Dante Corleone, another guy that I'm pretty high on. Now he might fall here because I think there was an issue. Somebody had said something about, I think it was him, that he had some sort of clot issue or something of this nature. I'm not sure if that was correct or not. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I heard that one of these dudes had some sort of heart issue or blood clot issue. Was it Corleone? Can't remember if it was him or not, but I'm going to go Daryl Jackson Jr. here. 6'5", 330. Huge measurables. Cowboys love this type of dudes. I think you got to get somebody out of Florida, man. These guys, they just play with a lot. And we're going to go third round here, Daryl Jackson Jr. Yeah, baby. There went, what's his name? Zion Young still there. Let me see. I'm looking at these two guys here. Okay, damn it, Zion Young gone. Danny Sutton. Let me see. Well, no, he didn't make it to our fourth round. Fuck. Okay, so he didn't make it. Max Llewellyn, Iowa. Vincent Anthony Jr. is available here. This guy here, I like him. There's Romello Hyde as well. Let me see. I'm looking for. Okay, there's Kamara. Yeah, we're gonna go with Anthony here. Yeah, we're gonna get this edge rusher right here, bro. Vincent Anthony Jr. If you guys get a chance to check this guy out, check him out. Out of Duke, we're gonna get him here in the 4th round. We're rocking and rolling, baby. We are rebuilding this defense. We're giving our defensive coordinator some weaponry. And really, the Cowboys really got to rebuild this defense. It's really what has to happen. You have a lot of linebackers that just aren't cutting it. You got a lot of injured guys. And yeah, I think you gotta throw your draft picks at it. And I think you can't go cheap with free agents either. So here we are in the 5th round here. Let's see who's available. Mellow Height, he's available here. Hold on. Let's recap what we got so far. We got Caleb Downs, we got C.J. Allen, we got Daryl Jackson, we got an edge rusher, Anthony Jr. I mean, Romello Hyde is still here, but Caden Curry. I mean, you got some options here. Do we still need a double dip here at linebacker? You may want to cornerback. Probably need to look at a cornerback here as well, and and draft you one, right? T.J. Hall, Iowa. Double dip possibly here. Come on. Red Murdoch out of Buffalo. Okay. I think this dude here, he's gonna be a guy to watch. This was a guy I was looking at out of Buffalo. He gives you some pass rush. He gives you a little bit of edge rush, but more of a linebacker. You got Shamar James. I don't know. Maybe you can get something out of him, but you know, I think you got to add another guy into the mix. So I wouldn't mind double dipping there. I'm gonna go Red Murdoch here, linebacker out of Buffalo. Make sure you check him out. Check his game out. It's pretty good. 5th round. Let's see. I think that's where we cut it off. I think we went to the 5th here. So in our third scenario, do we want to trade up? 5th round pick here. Uh, let's take a look at offenses again here. Let's look at offense. Okay, Klubnik in the 5th round. Any interest there? 6'2", 210. I don't know, man. I don't know about Klubnik, but I think somebody is going to take him. And to me, he's one of the better ones that's remaining here. I'm still intrigued by Diego Pavia, though. Do you take a flyer on him? We already took Burks there. Lewis Bond out of Boston College, too small. They're not going to go that route. TCU, and they don't really draft these guys. Dane Key, Malachi Fields. Nothing too impressive here. Tight ends, Marlon Klein. Another Michigan tight end, right? So we won't go that route. Adam Randall, Mike Washington, Noah Whittington, Kentrell Bullock, Le'Veon Moss, Jaden Nixon. Ken Barnett. Foster. Jalen Brockenmeyer. Let's just keep throwing some weaponry here. And I think the value here, I'm going height here. I mean, you have to you have to throw him into the mix. So he's available there. I'm gobbling him up, and we're going to work here. We did the trade down, right? We went 20. I mean, we got 12. We went Caleb Downs. We traded that 20th pick with Arizona, and with those picks, we got C.J. Allen. We got Daryl Jackson Jr. Got an edge guy, Vincent Anthony Jr., Red Murdoch as a linebacker, and Romello Height, another edge rusher. So I like that. I think double dipping is the name of the game here for the Cowboys. I think two linebackers, two edge rushers would be a beautiful thing. All right. I think that would be a beautiful scenario for the Cowboys if you could come out of this thing with some guys here. All right. Now, in this next scenario, let's trade up, bro. Let's go crazy. All right. So let's restart this. All right. And let's just do 4 rounds here for the last one here. Okay. Cowboys. We're gonna trade up. So let's enter this draft here. Let's pause it. All right. So we got the number 12 pick, and we got 20, right? They want to get somebody who is going to be a premier franchise guy. All right. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a proponent of doing this, but we're just doing this for the exercise. If the Cowboys were to use the 20th and the 12th pick to move up, who do you want that pick to be? Do you want it to be Arvell Reese? Ruben Bain? Do you want to go all in and get your franchise quarterback and see if you can get Fernando Mendoza? Fuck it. You know? Do you want to get a Jordan Tyson? Do you want to move up? Do you want to move up and get Jeremiah Love? You know what I'm saying? Who is the guy that you would really trade up for? For me, it would probably be Arvell Reese, but I don't know, man. That's just a lot, right? So, how high can we get? All right, let's see if we can make a deal here. All right, because if you're trading both, you got to get way the hell up here. Let's just say, can we get that number 1 pick? Let's see if these guys will bite. Let's propose a trade here. Let's see if we can trade with the Raiders. Fuck it, right? We'll go trade with the Raiders. We're going to give this one and this one, and let's see if they'll bite. Let's see if they'll give us that number 1 pick. It's been denied. All right. It's been denied. So we won't get the quarterback. Let's see. And we think that they're going to go. We think that they're going to go Mendoza. Let's see if we can go with the Jets. Let's move up. This is a move up scenario, guys. All right. So if you're just logging in, this is a move up scenario. All right. Jets. Move up to the number 2 pick. Let's see if it happens. Rejected. All right. Cardinals, number 3. Are any of these guys going to bite on this shit? I mean, it's 2 first-round picks. Come on. We want the Cardinals' number 3 pick. All right. Jerry Jones has lost his mind, and we're going to do a Joey Galloway type of deal. We're giving away 2 first-round picks. All right. They took it. The Cardinals took it. All right. Let's run it. Let's see who's on the board. All right. Here we go. And there it is. And there it is, right? So Carnell Tate, gosh, I don't know if Aaron Glenn would do that. They got, what's his name? They got that receiver. But you never know. So let's say this happens, right? Cowboys move from 12 and 20 up to number 3. And the pick, I mean, it has to be Arvell Reese, right? So we're going to go Arvell Reese here, dude. And we're going to transform that defense. We're going to build around him. And that's some crazy shit right there, right? They got their tackle with our pick there. Let's see what they do with the 20th one. They got Casey. Yeah, that's a. They didn't really do good with those 2 picks, I don't think. I think the Cardinals fucked up there. Okay. Round 2, obviously, we don't have a 2. We don't have a 3. So we'll wait here and see what we got left in the 4th round. It was the trade of trades, bro. 12 and 20 to move up for Arvell Reese. Would you be down for it? Would you be down for such a trade? You know what I mean? A lot of people like him, but it would take a lot to move up. So Cardinals, they took that trade and we got him. Now we just got to wait for the rest of these picks to bleed out and see what happens here. You know what I mean? So 3rd round. 3rd round's going down. I think the only way they do such a scenario is if they really spend some money in free agency. You know, they have to really like nail another linebacker. They probably have to get a veteran cornerback and check that off the box. Check off a linebacker or an edge rusher, right? So I don't think you're bringing back Fowler. Maybe you bring back Clowney, but I mean he's a bridge at this point of his career. Clowney's a bridge player, right? So you know you got to bring in somebody that's going to really change the franchise. So we got Arvell Reese. Now we're back on the clock. Day 3 of the NFL draft in the 4th round. Let's see what's available. Let's see what is left for us. Let's see if we got. Let's see, we got cornerback Preston Hodge. Zakee Wheatley still there. We already took him in our first scenario, so I won't do that again. But he's still there. Cornerback, I think you got to come out of this with the cornerback. But let's take a look at. Come on, man, what is this thing doing? Malachi Lawrence, UCF. Kayron Crawford. 4th round. We did Vincent Anthony last time, so I won't do that. We got him. Jamon Tapp, Caden Curry. You know that's a possibility. So there's going to be some day 3 edge guys that the Cowboys will probably be able to take a look at. You got some choices here out of defensive tackle as well. I think any of these guys would do. You actually have a lot of defensive tackles in this draft class. 4th round. Let's take a look at offense. Garrett Nussmeier, running back, wide receiver. Eric Rivers, Aaron Anderson. Yeah, 4th round. Jack Andrews. Quan Wright. We're going to go Drew Shelton here, all right? Tackle. 4th round. Penn State. Penn State's been putting some players in the NFL, so they have a good program there. Feel good about that. Put them into the mix. And that was one hell of a crazy draft for the Cowboys. 2 picks to move up, all the way up to number 3. And they got their dude, Arvell Reese. So that would be something crazy. Definitely, it would require the Cowboys to have a hell of a free agency for that to be a possibility, to really shock the world, right? To move up and get such a player like that, right? So could it happen? Probably not, but we did it in this draft scenario. So that's the name of the game. Drafting, sticking and picking, moving down with one of those picks, and I'm making the most of it. So we'll see what the Cowboys do, man. But I think it's gonna be a fun draft for the Cowboys. You know, whether or not they take another stab at quarterback in a mid round. Pavia is an interesting name to keep an eye on, and Nussmeier. I think those 2 guys, and maybe Klubnik. You know what I mean? If they feel like they can develop him a little bit more. But I think right now Joe Milton's not the answer, man. And he's got the big arm, like I said. That was a Jerry Jones move. I think he went rogue on that shit, dude. He fell in love with that big arm, and that those median passes, they suck, dude. So you got to hope that we fix the defense. You know what I mean? You got to hope that you fix the defense, and then you got to hope that Dak Prescott stays healthy. You know what I mean? So that's going to be the big thing. You got to protect Dak Prescott. So they got to make the right moves with that O line. You know, so I think the next scenario we'll probably look at O linemen. You know what I mean? So I think we'll do that next show. But appreciate you guys checking out tonight's mock draft insanity, Saturday Night Antics. Appreciate you guys for joining. Does anybody have any questions or comments as far as like the NFL draft or anything from today's games or coaching? Let me know before we head out. If not, we'll go ahead and cut it there. But appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out Saturday night. Cowboys blog action. And we'll do some more of these, man. We'll do some more mock drafts and give you all kinds of scenarios, different names, different players as we get through it. You know, we'll be doing some of these as well on the Frisco Report. We're going to start doing our draft coverage there. We're going to look at the Senior Bowl coming up here in just a few weeks. I've compiled a list of names here of guys to watch, how they could fit with the Cowboys. But that's all I have tonight, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for checking out. Thank you for hanging out here. Saturday Night Antics, as I say. And I'll see you for the next video, man. Pound that like button for me, man. Appreciate you all. Salute, guys.